Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while since we have done this. My setup is mostly the same, but I did figure out how to increase my voice volume in OBS. Found the setting, finally, so hopefully this is a better volume. Anyway, I think we're gonna start with a recap because probably not everybody has been following along the 5 different places that I have posted updates. Yeah, YouTube, wow, 6 years of gap between videos, but my development streams have been only 1 year gap. It's not quite so bad. I have noticed that there's now a live tab. That's pretty cool. I had them all on listed because I didn't want it clogging up my videos tab, but maybe I can relist them now as long as that doesn't spam everybody's notifications. I don't know. Leave some comments or something. I'll get some opinions somehow and figure that out later. You're all here to hear about Run. My mouse is glitching out. No. Okay. I have... My last public posts on this were back in September. I have some stills of the game and how animations were going wrong or going right, adding some physics but wrong, adding some physics but slightly better. Since then I have fixed various errors. Here is a video of how it was, and the runner could just fall through a tile randomly. I've got that all fixed. Whoops. But only if she's on the ground. And so now all the collisions are aligned. It was really just the tiles were off by half a tile from where they appeared. I've got a basic level transition. It's not the correct one, but it exists. I do not have touching walls makes you turn, so that kinda ruins it. Oh, I don't have respawning working correctly too. There's a single spawn point at the very beginning of the first level, and if you reset, you go back. So it's I've got the basic pieces of the game. I have mid-air jumps enabled just because you can't reliably make the jump otherwise. So anyway, to beat level 2, you kind of have to go here. There's no... I don't have the gravity set up for out of levels, but there are multiple levels. They load as you approach them. There's... yes, we're on the hardcore mode, 1 life. I mean, I'm sure some speedrunners have pulled that off. Yeah, the gravity outside, in between levels. Whoops. Okay, that failed. Gravity between levels does actually speed you up a little bit, so it's kind of like playing the skier, actually. You can gain speed over time. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, right. Another obvious thing is that there are no animations. No running, no jump animation. The animations exist, technically, and you know what, I can go... I can go enable a real basic one. Nice and quick. I really like this thing. It's completely unrelated, it's just very cool. So I'm sharing it. While we wait. Oh, right. Every single startup is going to be like that until I fix it. So we can have a single animation just play. I don't have it set up to swap animations, just play whatever animation it's on forever. But this is just proof the animations are working. And I didn't land that. Let's see, anything else to catch up on? People were asking whether we'd get run 2. Yes, the answer is I'm going to finish up run 1, I'm going to work on run 2, then we can get to run 3. But going simplest to most complex, like I'm redoing so much code, and I guess that's a good next thing to talk about. I've got a lot of code from old versions of the engine. Run 1's engine, Run 3's engine, technically Run 2's engine, but I'm not sure how much of that I'll be using. Let's see, I have this old code for handling platforming animations, and it's not all even used. It was me planning ahead for something that never happened. There's no standing animation or walking animation, but I have all of these different types of animation. That's not even... Oh, sorry. I've got all these different types of animation planned out, even though I only use 3 of them, and kind of thresholds for when do you switch between them, because that's kind of the tough part. If I've got a walk and run animation, I gotta have a threshold for when to switch between them. So anyway, a whole bunch of code here that does not currently work because I've deleted half the classes that it relies on. Just because I'm rebuilding so much code from the ground up, and I want it to be, I want to say simpler, and I'm hoping it will be simpler. We're gonna have to see how it turns out. I guess the next idea is to try and add something, and if it goes well, it'll prove that I have set it up so it's easy to make changes. So when entity component system can, this entity component framework can watch for a component to be added, and I've tried to make everything interesting into a component. So I'm going to watch for a jump component. No, a jump trajectory component. When we start a jump, and there is a sprite sheet mesh, then we say mesh I need to look up where the animations are stored. Set current animation private. This is the tough part. My code is kind of so split up, it's hard to remember where I put everything. So I usually have to break out the search tool, and that's kind of the main thing that I'm a little worried about. Information about animations that can be played. I mean, for now, I'm just going to hardcode that. We're going to do mesh.current animation equals jump. And what this will do, it'll set the current animation, it'll restart from the beginning of that animation, and then later on during the update cycle, it will play it at 24 FPS, which is not correct. And it will even loop. it gets to the end, it'll start over, and that's also not correct. But we'll prove a concept. So we're going to just make sure that that works at all. So we've got the running animation. Oh dear, it crashed. Uncaught exception. So I now have to go debug. Line 43. Get prefix. Okay, we're going to get a better error message. I was really hoping that this would be a simpler demonstration. But okay. Yeah, I think we're on to the coding part of the stream, so if you wanted a quick update, that's probably done. Now it slows down just a little bit. Sprite. Oh, we're still on line 43. Oh. We're just going to do a separate null check. Hopefully that works. I don't see why it would be an issue, but I don't know what else. Why is it doing a regex match? It's doing a regex match down here. But then why isn't it reporting the error around here? Okay, so the moment I jumped, the runner was now permanently in the jump animation. Oh, right, this is not a complete animation. The jump animation is for going upwards. There is a separate fall animation for when you reach the peak of your jump. So we're going to do if at the end of the jump trajectory we are still in the jump animation, we switch over to the fall animation. And you know what, we're also going to do when there's a ground contact, mesh.current animation goes back to run. And actually, I don't need the current frame equals 0 because that was handled by the code that was crashing and is now not crashing. Huh. Am I forgetting how the jump trajectory works? I mean, that's fine. It is going back to the run animation when we land, so that's good. But it is not doing the fall animation, so we're going to look at the velocity as well. If current animation is jump and past the peak of the jump. This is too late, but I forget what... Well, actually, wait. Jump trajectory probably has the actual position up. Highest position, additional height. No, I bet it was here. Jump start. No, it was not there either. Yeah, we're just gonna, after the apex, the next animation will play. In theory. Let me double check that fall and land. Oh, right, land. There's a separate landing animation, we should do that. We're completely sidetracked from the previous thing I was working on. I want to now work on this land thing, so when we get to the end of the land animation, I want to not replay it, but instead go back to the run animation. Current animation, the end of the land, we do... Go back to run. In the case of falling, in the case of jumping or falling, we don't loop, we just... we just stick with the current frame. In the case of actually we're gonna ignore that. In the case of all others, we want to loop. And music player is glitching out. Let's start. By the way, hoping that the sound levels are fine. Sorry, I have not been looking at chat much. I have it up on a different screen, if that's what you're saying. It's just I'm focused here. Okay, sound levels are good. It's great to hear. If you're saying that what I should do is display the chat for, like, overlay it on the window somewhere, I haven't really seen the need. Like, YouTube displays it alongside the video. Yep, also the music is a teeny bit too loud. Okay. 5% lower. Someone else said it was fine. Okay, so frame. Otherwise... frame. That should do it. I should really... grab velocity. We're getting it as an optional argument this time, so we'll have to deal with that. And we're going to do some if blocks instead, actually. So during a jump, there's no need to update the frame because it's a one-frame animation. And we're going to look at if there is a velocity and velocity.y is greater than 0. Or actually, it's going to be like negative half a meter per second. It's getting close to it. Might be about right. I'm guessing, and we're going to guess and check. And at some point I will go and look up the old code base, because I've still got all that old code up until I fully replace it. I keep everything. And I'll look through the old code for how I actually had it set up before. That was more thoroughly tested. So anyway, at this point we want to do fall. I want to print it out, just to make sure it's actually happening. We're going to look at velocity.y, if that exists. If it's unable to find velocity, that it'll print null, and that will be useful information too. So that's if jump. Otherwise, we do fall. Yeah, we actually explicitly set it to the end. I guess fall might actually just play at full speed. I have done it in other ways in the past, but velocity... I'm not using that code anymore. I don't need it to work. Oh, that's... very wrong. That's because... we don't... It's unable to detect what animation it currently is because it's not saving it, so it never recognizes that we're on the jump or the fall or the land animation. It's just... these two things work, and then it stays on those and loops them forever. Okay, that's pretty good. We can stop printing out tons of things, because that would bug me, and actually play around with it a little longer. Animation is really quick. Is that normal? I feel like it's normally not that fast. I need to do the ceiling strap to get there. Okay, well, you'll notice the runner still doesn't turn left and right, and those animations exist. Those animations exist too, but I would need to explicitly set them, like how I set it to mesh.current animation equal fall. I would need to set it to fall left or fall right, and I could. You know what? I could probably do that too. It wouldn't take that long. At least as a temporary measure. Oh, yes, as I mentioned, there's currently no... well, the problem is that there's currently no air, or air density or something. And that just... whichever it is, there's nothing to slow you down. So you can just keep on gaining speed, as long as you don't bump a tile wrong and or fall. It's another component I need to add at some point. Okay, but anyway, I was going to make that no longer nullable. So positive x is right. Negative x is left. And none of those are rebelled. Oh, I need to put those here too. So what I need to do is I'm going to make a function for that bit of code, and we're going to just call it always. Question is it okay to just set current animation all of the time? I have something a little more complicated. If I'm going to be constantly updating which version I should be I should make it a separate thing here. We're going to have a separate variable. Animation equals value, play. Suffix. We were going to initialize it. Frame definition. There we go. There we go. Right, reading comments for another moment, as long as I'm at a pause point. Hacks is not unlike C. It's in the whole family of languages: C, Java, JavaScript, ActionScript 3, that people call C-like, and yeah, they basically do look similar. I don't need that code at all. When we change the current animation, we always reset to there. When we change the suffix, we never change the current frame. But when we change that, we do. So that'll be important for other reasons. Okay. Current animation equals jump. Current animation equals land. That updates animation. I can undo most of this. I'm gonna copy that for later. And we're going to have a separate update animation direction function. I don't need to do that, no. Alright. Yeah, first we're gonna set the animation if needed. And then we're going to yeah, we literally just do that. With getters and setters. That's wrong. Gotta actually have the correct prefix to make a setter. Otherwise you get several errors. I think everything is fine. And so if I start moving... Oh, wow. Gotta play an animation that exists instead of an animation that does not exist. Yeah. Coding in Scratch, like if you get a hang of the kind of advanced concepts, this kind of works, but it all looks off. And some of them are just backwards entirely. And the cutoff point is way too high, so we're gonna fix that first. I don't know, 0.3 maybe. Right, I was talking about, yeah, a lot of the difficult stuff in learning to code is kind of independent of language, so you can start with a block-based editor and it'll be most of the same difficulties. Huh. So running to the right is all wrong. Running to the left is fine. Jumping to the left there isn't. Oh, interesting. When heading straight forward, we get the normal jump animation, but when heading sideways, we get the sideways jump animations are just the wrong frame from the sprite sheet. It's not the same frame as jumping forwards, it's like the frame after. And it feels like it matters what order the animation changes. Okay, I'm gonna hack in a special case for the landing animation to play at like 12 FPS instead. And so I kind of want to look at I'm going to restart the music. Yeah, the sprites are all messed up, and I'm trying to fix that. Jump left. Right, that's not supposed to be frame 1, that's supposed to be frame... I'm not quite sure, let me... I want to go look at the sprite sheet. First time I have pulled this image up on stream, and it probably won't be the last. So anyway, yes, that's definitely an error. Jump, the whole jump animation is this frame. The jump left animation is apparently this frame. Frame 0 is this first one. Frame 1 is the second one. That's not it at all. What we want is this one, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Are these out of order? Because several things here look wrong. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh. The land animation should go up to 12. Not 13. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. These all seem to be off by 1. So fall left should start on frame 14, end on frame 22, or end for frame 22, start on frame 22, 22, 23, 24, 25. It's very much shorter. Wait, no, that's... But the run animation is fine. So, like, 28. Okay, we're gonna put that at 14. Run left. Like, run left is all wrong, isn't it? Wait, I missed it. If I count starting at 1, I get the numbers that are here, but I know these are 0 index because this is 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we're just gonna try it. As for run 1 and run 3 using the same sprite sheets, this is something I'm adding now. Huh. We're sliding. I could not tell you why it's facing the wrong direction sometimes, but not all the time. I can tell you why it's sliding. It's because we're constantly resetting to that. Oh, it's because we're rounding down constantly. This never progresses. Okay, we have to handle land as its own separate case. Working with integers and constantly rounding down means we never get to the end. Unless we have a lag spike. A lag spike would get us past the end because the delta time would be higher. So we can't rule it out. I want to display the final frame once. Okay, fine. Limit. And just run that, and that part should be fixed. Oh, and while it was frozen on the final frame... Wait, no, it was not frozen on the final frame. It was frozen on the first frame. It could not progress at all. And it still is. Right. Does not fix it. We need to... Okay, this is exactly why I hadn't done this stuff before. It is complicated. Current frame variable. So I want to accumulate fractional values so that after like 2 frames, it can go to the next frame, or 3 frames, or 60 divided by 12, 5 frames, it can go to the next frame. So we want to accumulate 0.2 each frame, and for that we need a floating point value, but we can only update the integer frame number. Okay, and that will do that. We no longer need to round everything, which is good. Progress. There's still something wrong with the suffixing. Stop. play the animation suffix, the animation plus the animation suffix, go ahead and stop. Are there any other places that it calls play there? Oh, okay, get rid of that. Do some housekeeping. That's not going to fix it, but I still don't know what the problem is. Hopefully at least the landing animation works. That we have to use for. Just to be safe. And it crashes, yay. Line 42. Why is it there? Because this is not a valid value. That's why. I've decoupled it. I need to keep that up to date. I hope that's the only place I need to update that. That's still good. Now the landing animation is kind of slow. It really does not have the impact I remember it having. That was a little better. Okay, the straight ahead animation is kind of fine. I still remember it having a greater impact. Alright, there's also because there's no like friction or drag or anything. If you start moving sideways a bit, you just keep going. You just drift, not touching the keyboard. Okay, I started touching the keyboard immediately after saying that. That kind of keeps us on these lines. You know, I have... Instead of fixing this, I do have an idea. Grab that. What did I call it? But if it was based on the key you were pressing, the direction you were trying to go. I would actually want to play like a separate skid, pivot, whatever, slowing to a stop animation. Alright. Gotta account for null. I think I'm gonna revert this anyway, but I want to see how it looks. Why are we going up on the ceiling? Because there's no gravity changing anything. Oh, I just realized my changes to the frames probably did not get saved. Not loading, huh? It's unfortunate, but I have no idea how to debug it. I haven't streamed in over a year. It's kind of interesting to have the sort of run in place as you try to turn around, but other than that, I don't think there's much to this. And let me reload the sound. I made a change here, but this is converting from old format, which I might not even have a lot of classes. Let's It will be nice when importing from some other tool, but I want to go look up the yeah. Gonna import the old format. And then run it and have it run the conversion again, and it will copy frame 14 instead. And I would have to do that again when I figure out what's going wrong with the oops. Oh, did it not automatically? It says this action is irreversible, and I press Ctrl Z and it reverses it. Something I have to automatically call, I think. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go search for it again. There. Gonna do that replacement. None of those are relevant. Okay. We should have... I should be able to do string should be So I have this little conversion function to convert data from an old format to a new format. And I'm going back to using that because I converted it wrong the last time. Don't know how wrong, but it was wrong. Hey, look, the sideways jumps work. But some of them are still off, especially that. But no, a lot of the animations have the runner just shifting around slightly. So there's still something off here. Forget what. Well, was this a problem I already solved in run 3? And if so, I might need to go look up the code, and that'll be off stream because that would take even more time. But yeah, that sideways animation. And both of them, but especially the right one. There's definitely something. Jumping animation looks fine. Landing animation feels incomplete. Okay, let's... We've been going for an hour. Let's pause and take stock for a second. Catching up on chat a little bit. Okay, so as far as animations go, I'm making progress, like, as you watch. Since the start of the stream, we went from just runner sliding along, stuck in the default A pose. That frame. To mostly complete animations, but they like slide sideways a little bit. And I'm not certain why. With this conversion done, I would theoretically copy this and paste it over here. And a couple of them have been changed. Interesting. Oh, and I delete that. Oh, maybe I would reorder them. Not sure what changes have been made here. If I put them in the right order, it might start showing up correctly again. I'm just curious, how many changes actually got made? Jump left. Okay, yes. With everything in order, we really did only change the one frame. That's good stuff. And now undo all of that. I want to go back to this. I'm going to need to re-import it again with some more tweaks. Try and get it to actually all the animations to line up and whatnot. Like, the only other thing I can think is upload frame bounds isn't being called at the correct time. Oh, it wasn't being called there, certainly. Active animation name. That is the two of them put together, yes. that should be exactly the same. Whoops. It's not exactly the same. Weird. Load sprite sheet. Okay, fine. I'm going to stop fiddling with this for now. It clearly needs some more advanced debugging. I will get back to it. Other things that need to be done, we need gravity switching to work. When you touch a wall, gravity should push in a different direction. Camera rotate, all that stuff. Maybe a bit of slowdown for old time's sake. It used to just sit there and pause the whole time. And I decided not to bring that back in the HTML5 beta, and I don't think I will bring it back for the full HTML5 version. Do I have... I think I have a button for infinite mode, which is not in the public beta. I do not have infinite mode levels, but I will need to do that. Yeah, I think this will do nothing, or else bring it to a blank... Oh. Yeah. Okay, it brings it to... This slider is so old. This screen is so untested, the main menu button does not even work. I'm gonna need a better screen for that. Maybe even some more options, like make the mode interesting somehow. Let's see, I need, yeah, touching the wall should do that. Falling out of bounds should make you reset automatically. I have to press the reset button. I didn't even have that until yesterday. Before yesterday, I had to go back to menu and re-enter the game to reset. Which, yay. Gotta have better level transitions, gotta have... Oh, like, the tiles you can land on, some tiles before and after the level, just to land on and transition a little more. Maybe, like, I had them go all rainbow in the Flash version, which was kind of neat. Maybe I could bring that back. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, gravity needs to be different outside. It should not be this easy to, like, maneuver yourself. Especially if you go out the top. If you go out the top, you should fall upwards in a way. Until it automatically resets. We need spawn points, like when you enter a level, needs to save the new spawn point so you don't reset at the beginning of level 1. There are a lot of little things, and most of them shouldn't take too long. But some of them are going to prove tricky, and I don't know which ones except the animations, which have already proven tricky. But I am liking the progress I was able to make in a 1-hour stream. Compared to how much progress I made in previous coding streams. The investment in, like, infrastructure, basic low-level code, paid off a little bit. cutscenes. I could just say, when you have contact with the ground, play the landing animation. It would have had to be more complicated than that before. So that was, of course, getting that stuff all set up took all this time, but yeah, hopefully this stuff can start paying dividends now. Well, it has started. Hopefully it will continue. I mean, not that I don't want people to be able to mess around outside the tunnel, it just shouldn't be that easy. And you shouldn't get credit for winning a level if you do that. Oh, speaking of which, there needs to be credit for winning a level. You may have noticed a slight pause when I reset, where everything was black, and then the level snapped into view. It was reloading because it had unloaded because the camera was so far away. And this time it didn't happen because the camera wasn't far enough away for it to unload. And so I think that's going to be fine. You're not, in the actual game, it's not going to send you back to level 1 each time you fall. That'll, yeah, save the respawn point, save the progress. I think I'm about ready to wrap up the stream, unless anybody has questions, so I'm gonna just sit around till the top of the hour and do some questions, Q&A. Am I done updating Run 3? I am not. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but to recap all that stuff, the plan is finish Run 1. It's the simplest. It'll prove the concepts or show me where I need to rethink stuff. Finish Run 1, do Run 2. It's the second simplest. It is different. It should show whether or not I've got a good general purpose game engine. Will every run game eventually become Run 3D? I'm planning to have an option for that. Oh, that's another thing that I'm going to need to do before release. I want a better 3D model, better 3D animations. I'm going to need to update Away 3D itself, the 3D engine I'm using, to make that possible. I want the 3D model to be an option, and will probably be required going forward because it'll make constructing cutscenes more easy. I don't want to have to open Flash or some other vector editor to add a frame to the sprite sheet and then compile the game to see how it looks in-game, and then go back and make a tweak and export a new sprite sheet, and then compile the game again to see how that looks in-game. It was a long and kind of frustrating process, and also, I'm on Linux now. I like Linux, I don't want to go back to Windows. Flash doesn't, or the copy of Flash that I own, from back when Adobe allowed you to own the program, rather than forcing you to subscribe to their cloud service. I don't believe I have a version that runs on Linux, so like Flash is out, I would have to find a new vector animation program. Or else change up the art style, and like the whole point of the 2D thing is people probably like the old art style. Don't want to change it up. Yeah, that's in Flash format. Gotta use Flash for it, don't want to use Flash. So, like, I could only do cutscenes for which the current frames work, so I can't have new poses and stuff. Getting a team to help me. Like get an artist who has Flash or some other means of making a nice sprite sheet. I've worked with artists in the past for some animations, like Alex Ostroff did the ones you're seeing right now. Some folks at Congregate did some promo art, or the pumpkin, the jack-o'-lantern animation, the base for the skier animation, all that stuff. I've kind of come to the conclusion that I do like doing it all myself, and if I've done it all myself, I more easily have a way to tweak it. I know what went into it. It's in a format that I like. I would kind of rather keep going at my slow pace than bring other people in and not know where everything is anymore, or why it was added, or have it added in a format that I'm not familiar with. Let's see. Complaining. I forget who it was. I think it was one of the people whose name begins with A on the server. And I guess I will try not to name names beyond that, but one of them did say directly to me that they thought it would change the gameplay. And no, we can... it's totally decoupled from gameplay. I can even, in fact... I can go into where I can comment out the thing that starts the chain of events leading to getting the sprite sheet here. And if I comment that out, there will be no model at all, and the gameplay will be identical. I said that before, I can prove it now. Gameplay is unaffected. Though a little bit difficult. Gotta stay well away from the holes, and I think this music has just completely stopped. Or I'm like hearing tiny bits of it. Yeah, this is not how you'd want to play, but I could, instead of loading a sprite sheet, I could load the 3D mesh, and that would be fine. But, like, yeah, I go back and look at it, and it's not... It's not as good as the 2D animations. And I don't think that's inherent. Like, you could absolutely make a 3D animation that's as good. And I plan to try. How many levels are currently in Run 3, and what else do I want to add? I want to add enough levels that we can get through the story that I've planned. Okay, wow, yes, the music is glitchy today. I don't know how many levels it'll take to tell the full story. But... I don't know. I have various ideas to add content that's not specifically new levels and is not animations. But I will have to play around with those before anything resembling an announcement. Cutscenes become fully animated. That would be nice. I don't know if I can pull that off. We will see how the basic, the running and jumping animations go before getting into that. I will at least make the parts that are like already animated, I will make them smoother when I switch to 3D. But yeah, there's some point, like, if you start doing animations, do you start doing mouth movements, and do you animate little details? And no, I don't have time for that. Yeah, well, a big reason they are the way they are is, like, I don't know about always, but for a very long time, well before making Run 3, I have been a big fan of webcomics. Just a good sort of compromise between, like, full text and full animation, where you get to comics in general. Get to see stuff happen, but it's also a reasonable workload for a single person, and as previously stated, I think I want to stay just doing it myself. Being on a team and being as unpredictable as I am be a little tricky. Bloons, yeah. Bloons was successful. They certainly have a bigger team than I do. Will cutscene icons keep using the 2D versions? Maybe. I have not thought about that. I've thought about, like, doing something to make it easier to generate achievement icons so that I can make icons for more of those. New cutscenes might use 3D. What would be really nice is to get a 3D model that actually looks like the 2D, so it does not matter as much which you use. But that might be a little infeasible. I've made a couple 3D models now of characters in the game, and I've not gotten them looking anywhere near. If I trace it, I can get the proportions to look similar, but there's still a lot of little things. However I do the outlines does not look the same. Cutscene icons looking hand-drawn. I mean, I guess I could get artists to do, like, these little disconnected things that are a bunch of work that I have less interest in. I don't know. There's some potential to do better. Run, but more 3D would be a great idea for Run 4. Yeah. I'm still planning big changes to the first 3 games. Let's not even get into sequels. Big changes to the first 3 games, and, like, all kinds of spin-offs that I will never have time for. Edit any levels, unless there are glaring issues with the levels, I don't think so. Although, glaring issues, like, if I had some kind of artistic vision that I don't feel I was able to achieve, or or if there was just something confusing, like Run 2's level titles might get some polish. There are a couple of those that I think people have never really understood and just kind of accepted, and I could maybe fix that. Oh, I just realized you run off and it keeps playing the run animation because, of course it does. I never added something for that. So for that, I would add a listener when the ground contact goes away. I already have the listener for when a ground contact is added, but when a ground contact is removed, if we're playing the run animation, we instead switch to the falling animation. Anyway, not doing that now. We're in Q&A mode. Contrast between the 2D sprite and 3D it is kind of unique, isn't it? It's not easy for me to make them anymore. And I never really liked the process. But yeah, I will take another few attempts to make the 3D look good. Level 29 got edited already? Do you mean it got edited during the beta release, or the... Some of Run 2's level names could be better explained, or... I think there's a reason I didn't bring those back. Naming things is hard, and that's on display. There's one, hold space to jump farther in the runner's levels, and I guess my thought was you would play the runner's levels first, and then play the skater's levels, and then you would see a level that is kind of backwards and stretched and basically remixed, and so I reordered the words, and now it makes no sense at all. And so my thought there is it would display the title, but it would actually just switch around the words every few seconds. And that makes it clear you're not supposed to be understanding the title. It's just scrambled. Some of the others, let's see. There was one that I didn't just want to call new and improved, so I... and then I had thought, like, does it even make sense to say something is new and improved? And so I made that the title. Wouldn't improved imply it's not new? Skater is not illiterate. Okay, the beta version, level 29, got changed. Oh, yeah, I should probably... This is a stream, not a one-on-one conversation. Let's get Jeff's question. Or everybody else's. Yeah, I wrote the level names without any thought to the characters, because they weren't characters at the time. They were just... Well, they weren't characters with personalities at the time. That was 5 years before I started thinking about characterization, world building, plot, anything. Like, I could go through and make level titles that are, like, characters with personalities from Run 3, commenting on whatever's going on here. Things the runner would comment, things the skater would comment, I don't know. achievements to run 1 and run 2. Maybe, but is that important? I don't know. Right, getting back, elaborating on spin-offs. I have like story ideas for things that are happening in the universe, not in the tunnels that we see, and I have ideas for games, and sometimes I can put those two together, and it's like I can tell stories and people kind of like them, but I think my real strength is being a game developer. That's what sets me apart from other storytellers, and so like I kind of want to make games, shorter games than say Run 3, but games nonetheless, to tell these various other spin-off stories. Of course, making a game is much more work than just telling a story. You gotta tell a story and have working gameplay mechanics on top of it. I think I've floated the idea of Run 2 being a dream sequence or something before, but honestly, I think I like the arcade game metaphor better. Like, that's another thing. If I'm... Oh, it's supposed to unload that, but it does not unload that while the game is paused. That's another thing to fix. Whoops. Right, I was thinking, if I'm gonna give this another overhaul, I could, like, the level selection screen that not shown, because no levels are unlocked because it doesn't save progress. But the level selection screen could be like a handheld, look like a handheld console, and you're pressing buttons to switch sideways, and then when you click the button to confirm, it kind of zooms into the screen, and that's where you're playing here. And I'd choose a font that looks like a retro console. I think someone commented at some point it feels like an arcade game. Yeah, I do plan for the near future to let players toggle between 2D and 3D characters. The main issue is that new cutscenes won't be able to do that because I'm not laying out the cutscene twice, once with 3D and once with 2D. So when we like Run 1 and Run 2, those are fine. Run 3 at some point it may no longer be optional. For the most part, I'm not sure. Like, it wouldn't make sense for the story to have more characters. I could do more costumes. I don't know if that's a priority, but I mean, if the costume creation process, like if the 3D models work and the costume creation process goes well, I can do that. Cutscene. So you're saying gameplay in 2D, cutscenes in 3D. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility. Might become an advanced setting somewhere, or a secret setting. I don't know if it needs to be secret. I don't think I'm going to delve into, like, if this is an arcade game, I'm not going to delve into where it fits into the narrative, but or I might, but I wouldn't explain it, as they are literally out there, able to run it in real life, and instead sitting around with a handheld console. This could be... Nope, I have no idea where it would fit in. So... yeah, I think I will not address it for the moment. Zombie redesign. Maybe. I've not really thought. Well, since last the zombie got mentioned, I have not put much more thought into that. But I guess it wouldn't have helped. As far as redesigns, as far as doing new art, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to make the 3D models work. To make them look good. And then start adding stuff. I really should see more how other people design 3D models in Blender, because I have not been able to reach that level. Yeah. I think I said I'd wrap it up 15 minutes ago, but there were enough questions. But it might be time to wrap this up for now. I will... Let's see. Yeah, I'll see if I can get the animations sorted out a little bit more, and I'll post some kind of update somewhere where people can see it. Not necessarily on YouTube, but like Discord, Mastodon, something like that. And I guess, will there be another stream? I know that was a question that was asked. I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming back. If I'm like back, or if I've just... It was convenient to do a couple of these. I'm not interested in playing the algorithm game. There are other, much more fun games to play. But thank you all for watching. And I think I will see you again when I have the animations a little less jittery.